Okay. Reusse Unchained, presented by Josh Arnold, investment consultant, Mr. Money Talk. We will talk about the glorious 6-3 football game last night that we were just talking about off microphone. But the Packers, as of the recording of this podcast here on this Friday, are now 2-point favorites in a lot of sports books, Pat. 2
I
points.
saw that.
Packers.
I don't quite figure that out. I mean, they're pretty good, but they have a few injuries. We don't have any except for Dersal. Beat them the first time down there. Won, is it 8 or 9 in a row? What's the winning streak now for the Vikings? 8 or
8 in
9?
a row. 8 in a row.
8 in a row.
Last time they won 9 in a row was
Mhm.
1998.
Oh, don't bring that up. People get very upset. But yeah, I can see it being 2 points the other way. But I'm very surprised that they're the favorites. But then, I don't know. Are the Packers to some degree kind of like the Cowboys used to be? More people bet them because they got the bigger fan base. Is that part
Well,
of it? I
you
don't
could
know.
also make the case if you look at just through almost the entire season. We rave about the Vikings defense. The Packers defense is right there with the Vikings defense in
Yes.
almost every measurable category, and the Packers have a much better running game on offense. They average the second most yards per play of any offense in the league. They create turnovers on defense, so
Turnovers, right? That's maybe the big deal is they're really turning the other team over or
Yeah.
something fierce. What
yeah.
is the Viking turnover ratio? I mean, they've
Very
had
good.
3. It's still pretty good, right?
Yes.
But the Packers are turning everybody over. Well, it is funny that about 3-4 years ago, Brian Gutekunst they were going to run him out of town. Was he gonna get the job and was he going to keep the job? And it was kind of controversial, wasn't it, Judd? When they picked him there were 2 guys.
Yes.
Who was the other guy? There were
Ron
2.
Wolf's kid, who is now in
Yeah.
charge of the Patriots, or he's one of the main guys.
Okay,
So
and they were going to go one with
Elliot Wolf.
Elliot
Elliot.
Wolf, yeah, and they went with Brian, and now Brian's getting honored for his drafting. He certainly wasn't honored for his drafting when he. Well, Ted Thompson was still around as a special consultant or whatever it was when they drafted Jordan Love, but they got then when they didn't give Aaron a receiver that year in that receiver loaded draft, he got nothing but heat. But now he's now it's look at all these gems that he's found later on, smaller, not big, not as big a name of guys. So yeah, they're good. They're uh, whoever wins Sunday is the best team in the division, right? They may not win the division, the Packers, but I think they're considering the Lions injury situation. If the Packers come in, they can pretty much feel like they're the best team in the division, and maybe they can do it here now. I've been watching documentaries on first Aaron Rodgers. That was 3 hours
Yep.
of and you can see Aaron Enigma is the name of it. It's on Netflix, and you can see that Aaron basically handled the narrative on this thing. But we talked about that. But that's very interesting. And then I also watched the 43-minute. Rich and Shameless on this morning on Favre. That there's a series on Max, Rich and Shameless, and they do a 43-minute segment. Now these are those shows that you get on documentaries, crime shows, that they get non-prominent people to talk. I mean, like they get some
They're cheap to
fat
do.
they get some fat
Yeah.
ass fan who's got a blog, who's ripping the hell out of them, and like saying exactly what they want them to say. But that said, there is some text messages that Brett sent out that shows that he was pretty well wired with these politicians, and they were supposed to be sending money to the poor, and they were sending money to build a $5 million volleyball arena because Brett's daughter played volleyball at
Mm.
Southern Miss. And then the other stuff too. This concussion drug that he was in on is that he was a big investor in that. He got the state. He got him to give him some money to research this concussion drug, which he thought was going to make him some money. So
He's never, if you can, one thing about Brett Favre, he's never learned the consequences of text messaging in his life.
No, he hasn't. And they have Jen Sturger on there. They got the quotes with Jen Sturger on there, and they do that too. And he's definitely a flawed human being. I was talking to yesterday though. I was talking to Rob Demoski, and he said this Jordan Love is extremely boring. And I bet they're happy that they have an extremely boring quarterback now over there after having Brett for 16 years and Rodgers for 15 years. They're damn near identical careers. One Super Bowl each, 12-10 in the playoffs, each of them. Some bad playoff losses, some great playoff wins. And the same age basically when they got rid of him too, right? When they decided they each time they drafted they drafted Rodgers controversially to replace Favre, and then they drafted Jordan Love the same way with Rodgers. I think Rodgers does make a good point in that he took it a little better than Brett did, having him around. Brett. What was Brett's famous quote? It's not my job to mentor my replacement.
It's not my contract.
Yeah, not my contract. So anyway, yes, but it is.
Did the Aaron Rodgers documentary make you want to go to some remote location and do some ayahuasca for a week or no?
Yeah. Now, what is the NFL? You can smoke pot in the NFL now, right? There's not.
Are they even testing for that
They
anymore?
I don't think they test anymore for that.
They quit.
But they were still doing it when he was first going to Costa Rica and doing whatever the hell he's doing. You know what I don't want to do? Go in the completely dark place for 4 days. Who else did it? Rudy did that.
Rudy
right?
Gobert.
Rudy Gobert did that. Well, what do you read? How do you kill time? What do you do if you?
Pat, you're not looking to kill time. You're looking to to center yourself and allow time to pass by.
What an awful experience.
But I mean, once you have to, I got to be able to read something, can't you? I mean,
you got to read your thoughts.
No, you're in the dark. They knock on your door. You go
and
outside.
Give you food.
And your food comes through, so you still are in the
How do you
dark.
find your food? How do you find it if it's
feel around?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't. I was thinking about that. So you mean that I'm going to get in there and I can't look at my cell phone and see what the baseball scores were while I'm in there? I can't. I got
correct. Yeah.
I gotta at least know what who won a ball game. Don't I have to? I mean, I don't quite understand that. So
I feel like people were much more centered. But go back to the 1800s when it got dark out, then you just kind of went to bed maybe
and
for
the other
12
part
hours.
of it is I know they have a toilet in there, but you got to find it and make sure everything fits right before you're.
Well, you got to sit down for everything in that case.
That would be the other
can't just
problem.
aim.
That'd be the other problem, and then you're saying, okay, now that we've done this, where's the toilet paper? Where is it? Where is everything? It's I think it's stupid. I really do. I don't think that's. What if there's something in it's out in the middle of the woods too, right?
Yeah, you never know. What if a rat gets in there with you?
Something good snuck in there. There could be a muskrat in there, and you go to sleep and it's chewing on your face when you wake up. It's,
I think they probably make you sign a waiver in case that happens, right?
I don't know. It is amazing, though, to have 31 years of those personalities, running your football team, isn't it? The big personalities in that dumpy little town over there. That's the other part of it, that those kind of personalities, because you don't find them. You don't. I mean, who we, Tommy back in the day, he was a personality because
Well,
he
no
was,
one's here long enough
yeah,
to as
yeah, that's right.
quarterback to show their personality for 10 years
Yeah,
or to evolve it the way that those guys both did, especially Aaron.
yeah, that is definitely true. Anyway, yes, hell of a football game, such a big game. I'm going to be there in person
Wow.
for the. Let's see, I think my third Viking game in the new stadium. Maybe
I think
I
you've been to
saw
2 Bears games,
I
right?
saw that. Yes, I saw them defeat the Bear. The Bears defeat them when the Bears had nothing to play for, and they had that good team, Kirk's first year, and
Yep.
they blew the
Not his fault.
playoffs.
Not his
And
fault.
then I was there for the Giants game when they lost to the
Oh,
Giants,
okay.
playoff game. Those were,
Okay.
I think those are the
Okay,
only
so
two.
they're
Check down.
certain to lose then on
Yeah.
Sunday now
I
that you're
got
showing
it.
up.
I got instructions on what they would like to see, something they'd like to see me do during the game, which would involve traveling in that place. I don't know where the hell I am in that stadium. I take me back to the Metrodome. You walk around in a circle, and you either
Well, do
walk
they
up
want you
the
to go talk to
steps.
fans?
Yeah, that's something that I don't know. Well, we're still
A man of the
negotiating.
fans, Patrick
We're still
Reusse.
negotiating something, but
Yeah, I think
no,
the
it would
words
be
no or the word
specific.
no would
It would
suffice
be
for them.
specific people they would like me to find. How am I going to find them? I don't know. I can't
Wait,
find anybody.
like types of people or specific actual people
A
that you have?
specific actual group of people, which I don't want to get into, but because
They might have sold
yeah,
their tickets
Be
based on the
careful. The
data I'm
Pioneer
seeing.
Press might find out, and
yeah,
then they'll get to those specific people.
yes, whatever. It's I don't know.
Hey, how do we
I
feel that
hate that stadium.
apparently 23% of people that have there's like StubHub or somebody has analytics on this. 23% of people who have bought tickets to this game are Packer fans.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So we're selling them too. In other
Oh
words,
yeah.
the Chris Reavers of the world are selling their tickets
Probably
to
sold them a
the.
long time ago, Pat.
Yeah, yes, yeah. I'm sure they did. Yeah, and you know who's selling tickets now? The Packer fans who got their hands on tickets are now selling it to
Yeah.
other Packer fans because they can get more money because the Packers are way better than the Packers are better than the Packer,
Yes.
even the Packer fans thought they were going to be, just like the Vikes, right?
I think
Yes.
the
What was
Packers are as good as Packer fans thought they would be at the end of last season, but
Yeah.
then the way that they started the season, expectations went back
Agreed.
down, and now here they are again at the end, like they
was
always
their
are.
what was their over and under? Nine and
Probably
a
nine
half?
and a half.
Yeah,
It was
Nine
pretty
and a half.
high. Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe 10. Yeah, 9.5.
Well, we've never been more proud of the NFC North, fellas.
How does it
It's
feel if
pretty.
you're these poor Lions fans and you're doing this for the only time in 3 generations, and you just look slightly over your shoulder and there's
Here
two
they are.
awesome teams banging on your door?
Two teams. Not only that, two teams that you basically have fed success. You've been a big reason for both. What the Packers' record against the Lions is unbelievable, isn't it? Like the number of times they've won in Green Bay is like
Yeah.
2 in 30 years.
It
Or
finally
something
came to
like
an
that.
end, but yes,
Yeah.
it was a phenomenal
I mean,
stretch.
but I've always said with the Lions, they provided the Vikings with much of the Vikings. The Vikings have been a very successful franchise as far as wins and losses. They're not many horrible teams, and the Lions have been a big part of that, and maybe a bigger part of Green Bay's success. And the fact that the Green Bay and Lions go back to when Thanksgiving football was the Lions and the Packers. Those were that's how ancient that rivalry is. I think they started in the 1930s playing each other on Thanksgiving Day. So
Yeah.
anyway, I don't know. Who do you like Sunday? Who do you like? I don't know who I like.
It's very coin flippy. It's a very it feels like a game that's gonna.
If the
I would say this. I would be shocked if the Vikings had a decisive win over the Packers. Like they were up by 28 points in that first game.
yes,
It's either going to be another white knuckle win at the end, or, sorry, Vikings fans, the Packers come in and just steamroll and give you your first decisive loss of the year.
well, they're going to try to run against you. And can you
Yep.
stop the run? Because they're an extremely successful running team, and this Josh Jacobs has been fantastic for them. And
Yep.
I don't think any of us felt that he was going to be. I thought they were downgrading when they let Aaron Jones go and brought this guy in. But Aaron Jones, they were tired of him getting hurt, and so they brought in Jacobs, and 5 years he had more carries than anybody in the NFL, and you figured he was old and worn out maybe, and he's been fantastic. So
He's a workhorse.
yeah,
So
yeah,
they're fourth in rushing total. The Vikings are second in rushing defense.
ooh, that'll be
So
good.
it's going to be interesting.
Yes,
And
it
Pace
is.
is back,
Yeah.
which actually from the linebacker position helps the run defense a lot. So
What's that guy weigh? 220.
yeah, he's
Oh
not big.
man, he's kind of a bowling ball.
He
Yeah.
is a bowling ball. And he's short. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
short, really effective linebacker. It's a phenomenal story. It really is how good he is. And there's basically just some guy they discovered, right? Where was he drafted? Was he drafted?
He wasn't drafted
He was just a free agent they
from
found
Cincinnati.
somewhere. So
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it'll be fun. It'll be hopping, and unfortunately they can flex them. I don't know. I'm anti-flex. I wanted the schedule when it says that when they're going to play. That's what I want them to
So you'll
play.
be there for a noon start, and you expect that the
Noon
game starts
start.
on
I want a
time.
game. The schedule says noon. I want you. Where the hell is everybody? Let's go here.
You know what you could do? I'll tell you this: if it stops raining here, you could put the top down on one of those. Why don't you tell us about your favorite car dealership?
Well,
It's in the
that
40s today.
it is in the 40s, but I got to tell you, I have put the convertible into mothballs for about 3 months. I want to save the miles on. I'm up over 60,000 on that beautiful car, but it's I go by to make sure it's resting comfortably every once in a while, and it's doing well here. And we're going to break her out again in April and get going. But hey, if you are looking for a SUV, a Sierra truck, high duty, heavy duty truck, they have the Sierras. They got dozens of them, and they are also Jim Paul and Brett Paul's Valley Group of GM dealers, and the interest rates are low. The rebates are high right now. If you're looking for the 2024, we're trying to, this is the time of year that they're trying to make room for the 2025s. So go out there and make a deal at Jim Paul and Brett Paul's Valley Group of GM dealers. 4 different varieties of SUVs, the heavy duty Sierras, a Hummer EV, 60 months, no interest. I think Declan should get a. I can see him as a Hummer EV guy, don't you think? Him and his
I could
family.
too. Yeah.
Him and his
Throw the
family.
Vinster in the back.
That's right. It'll be fantastic. Anyway, Jim Paul, Brett Paul, Valley Group of GM dealers. Low interest rates, high rebates, great Buicks, Sierra trucks. Go check them out.
All right, Pat. Well, good luck on your journey trying to find specific people at US Bank Stadium this weekend.
See, I got one thing to bring up. These bowl games that we're playing. Why?
We had 6 overtime thriller yesterday. What are you talking about?
I say that every day. You watch, and Rutgers is playing Kansas State, and Toledo is playing Penn. What are we doing? Nobody cares. These games are it's just programming. But I don't even think Collar watches these games, does he
Oh,
anymore?
you're wrong. He does
Mr. Bowl game.
those Ross watches every one of these and
I
tweets
think
during
there's
them.
more of them than ever, and there's 6,000 people there. What did I know that ESPN wants programming? But it's ridiculous. These matchups are unbelievable. We had to cancel one because
Marshall?
the Marshall had to.
They just replaced them.
Yeah, with who? Do we even know?
Who knows? Who cares? Just throw
Yeah.
another team in there.
But it was hard to find a replacement, right? Because like the
Yes.
teams that didn't make a bowl game, like everyone kind of scattered.
Every 6-win team
Transferred.
every 6-win team, but the transfer is. Do you think the transfer portal's a little bit ill-timed? That it's after the season, that it's right after the season, and everybody
It's so
starts
dumb.
leaving.
Also,
How
did
about-
you hear? So Jim Larinaga on the
Yeah,
basketball
he
side
said, "The hell
retired.
with it. I can't
So
take it."
what he said, they asked, was there like a moment or a thing that really kind of tipped it for you?
Yes.
And he said, yeah, when we went to the Final Four in 2023, I had 8 players come to me and say they needed more money to stick around.
Yes. Yes. And he said, yeah, the 8 players told him they were transferring, and because he didn't have more, they needed a better deal. And he said, "Well, do you like Miami?" And he said, "Yeah, we love it, Miami. It's great down here, but we're all leaving." And now, this year, they're what? Last year they had a lousy year last year, and then this year they were 4-8, and they lost to Mount St. Mary's, and that's when he quit. That's what he said. That's enough. It's well, we got the same situation. We didn't have a Final Four team for Ben, but you had a team with some hope, and 8 guys left. 6 of whom could actually play. 6 who could actually play. I don't know. And it's much more impactful in basketball than football, right? Because
Yeah, you lose your 2 leading scorers or whatever, and
yeah, unbelievable. All right, gents. Who's going Sunday? Just Judd? You're not going to be there.
Judd will be there.
Judd will be there.
I'll be on the
guys-
plaza beforehand, man of the people.
Getting
Okay.
And then Vikings vent line right afterwards should be very festive no matter what. Those early evening ones are always a little more tuned up.
Okay, we didn't get into the Bears, by the way, which was one of the most pathetic performances I have ever seen. This they fired Everflus because he didn't know that he let a game finish. He didn't get a playoff in 35 seconds. The guy last night might be stupider. They're 4th, and they got to go from me to the phone, which is about 2 inches in front of me, and they decide to try to draw him off sides and end up getting a false start. Hand the ball to your running back. Get a first down, you morons.
They were
Caleb
4-2. They were 4-2.
Yes, they lost 10 in a row. Unbelievable. And they're not getting their new stadium, by the way. They're not getting it. The Illinois told them to go to hell. They can't. They don't have any money. The state has no money. So they're going to, they're not going to get the thing downtown. I don't know what they're going to do. It's incredible.
They're going to move. Maybe they're going to move out of Chicago. Maybe that's the
tell you.
NFL power play.
I think the Arlington thing is probably what's going to end up happening. They'll be out at the old racetrack, and they'll build it. They'll have to build it themselves. So, all right, gents, have a good
All right.
weekend. I'll
See
see
you,
you
Reusse.
Sunday, Judd. Judge
Yep.
my ride to the ballpark. Sunday.
Yep, chauffeur.
Wow. Look
Okay.
at you guys. You going to join Judd on the social media walk into the stadium on Sunday? A little cameo?
You might have to.
Well, I didn't know we had a social media.
Oh, you better put
Oh,
on
and
your...
my fees are high too, because it's going to be surging when I pick you up.
Okay. All righty.
Bye.
See you
All right,
guys.
see you, Pat.
Bye.
Reusse Unchained, presented by Josh Arnold.